This is a web app to determine whether or not a photo is of a person wearing a mask or not wearing a mask. But it's currently broken. If I drag a photo in here, it gives this error. And the error is happening because of this line right here, where there's no URL in a machine learning model to check whether or not the photo is of a person wearing a mask. So let's go create that right now. Let's go to Nyckel and click Get Started. To keep it sporting, I'm going to put a real-time clock right here above my head. So we'll start by clicking New Function. This is an image function. And we'll say not wearing a mask, wearing a mask. And to make it even more fun, we'll say incorrectly wearing. Click Create Function. And now we need to train the function based on images of each type. So first I'll start by dragging in a bunch of photos of people not wearing a mask. I can label these on import and say not wearing a mask and click import. Then we'll import more data. I'll choose people wearing a mask. And I'll say wearing a mask, click import, and finally incorrectly wearing a mask. We'll label those, click import. Now Nyckel is importing and crunching all the data to create a machine learning model to determine whether or not a person is wearing a mask based on the training data we provided. The spinner here is showing that Nyckel is training that model in real time. So there we go. In less than 3 minutes, we have our very first trained model with 94% accuracy. But let's see if we can improve the accuracy. So I'm going to look at the function output where it disagrees with the labels we provided. And so this first one here is actually wrong. Nyckel predicts this person's not wearing a mask, but we labeled it wearing a mask, a label I put in there incorrectly on purpose to demonstrate this. So I'll fix that label and say not wearing a mask. And then you can see our accuracy improves to 96%, and Nyckel even retrains a new model based on that updated label. And so now we have a 96% accurate model, and so good enough, let's go use that. So I go to invoke. I can grab the URL we can use to invoke this with new images. And then I'll go to the API page and make sure that it's public so we can call it from our JavaScript function. So I'll go back to our CodePen, and I can put it in here. And then as the CodePen reloads, I can now drag in that unknown photo that Nyckel has never seen before. And sure enough, it predicts wearing a mask. Here's one not wearing a mask. And then here's one of Joe Biden incorrectly wearing a mask. Naughty, naughty Joe Biden. So there you go. In less than 5 minutes, we trained, improved, and deployed a machine learning model to identify a totally custom function of whether or not a person is wearing a mask. If you want to learn more, you can check it out at nyckel.com.